Hi everyone! Today I'm going to give you tips on how to overcome anxiety nausea and also share some of my personal story about it. So when I realized that I started having anxiety nausea, I was probably around 13. I had just started high school and I was going into a completely new place, and I had severe social anxiety at that time, and I simply did not cope. I would go to school and on the way I would just get this intense feeling of nausea. I felt sick, I didn't know what to do, I was just confused. I thought I was the only person in the world suffering from that, and I thought I was going crazy. I was so afraid of feeling nauseous that anything associated with it I would not do. For example, if I got it once from going on a bus, I would be afraid of the bus, or if I had it during assembly, I would also be afraid of going. I used to believe that the water is a cure, and that stems back to my childhood with my grandfather telling me to drink water after I had gotten sick. So I've always believed that water would help me, and I would just freak out if I didn't have my water with me. And the worst thing is I was too scared, or I thought I was crazy, and I didn't tell anyone about it. Not the teachers, not my parents. I didn't tell anyone. I was just suffering alone. And I was so afraid, I was so scared, I didn't know what it was. And it wasn't until a few months later I remember reading something about anxiety, and I was really shocked how similar some of the symptoms are to me, and I thought, oh, maybe it's a thing. So after a while I began to realize more and more that there are lots of other people going through the same thing, where you would be fine in a situation and all of a sudden your anxiety will hit and you get a flood of symptoms. One of my worst one is the nausea, and it doesn't help that I'm also emetophobic. I'm afraid of throwing up, so you can imagine just the stress being sick will put on me. And I remember feeling so scared that I was scared of feeling scared. So there was a vicious cycle that would just come and go, come and go. I remember there were days where I could barely eat. I would have been probably classified as someone having a food disorder if they didn't know that it wasn't that I didn't want to eat. I actually did want to eat, but I was too nauseous. And I remember the moment anyone would say dinner's ready, I would just immediately, my stomach would drop and I would feel intensely nauseous, and I would just feel like, okay, I'm gonna starve to death. I obviously won't be able to eat. What am I gonna do? And I remember telling my parents that, and I got them to help me by saying that it's okay, you don't have to eat now, you can eat anytime you are hungry, you can eat bits and pieces during the day. That was very helpful, because it's good that you're not pressured to do something. If you are, you might just find that you would be worse, that your symptoms would come up worse. There were moments that I couldn't leave the house. I was so scared of feeling nauseous, and the worst idea is to be stuck in public wanting to throw up, and I didn't know how to handle that, so I would just stay at home. And I remember getting the same symptoms almost the same time every day, and it would drive me nuts because it would just stay so long, and I would do everything I could. I would wish away the time, I would just try to read something, I would do everything I could to get rid of it, but there are some days that it just wouldn't go. And a long time ago, I remember I was at work one time and I ate some very spicy food. It must have clashed with my nervous system, and I was just so intensely nauseous. I was lying on the ground, hunched over with my hand on my stomach, trying to get rid of this feeling. And I know that a lot of you are going through the same thing, and you're wondering if it's ever gonna go away. Where's the hope in even living if that's what you're gonna have to suffer for all this time? I understand it, I really do. It is just such a horrible, horrible feeling, and it is hard because not only do you get nauseous, you also probably get other symptoms too, like racing heart or sweaty palms or something like that. I get those as well, and it's like a whole combination of symptoms to make you feel like this is the end. So here is some things that have helped me. I really hope that they help you as well. The first thing is I always take ginger with me everywhere I go. I have a bottle of ginger pills. They are extremely good for your stomach. It will warm up your stomach and make it feel much more comfortable if you are feeling sick. So I get them from the pharmacy, different pharmacies or health food stores. There's always some there, and you know what? If they don't sell them anywhere, you can make your own. You can just go and buy ginger spice from the shopping center and then get some capsules, empty capsules, and put them all in, and it will work just as good. Don't try raw ginger on its own. That will probably make you feel more nauseous because of the bad taste. Most people probably won't be able to handle the strong taste of the ginger. I have never really tried ginger candy because I find that the sweetness sometimes will upset my stomach. So I tend to go with the pills, and I will take 2 or 3 if I'm feeling nauseous. I will take them without water because you want the pill not to go too far down. If you're drinking water, you're likely to have it swallow way down, and it takes longer. If you want it to really sit around the stomach area so that it will work as fast as it possibly can. So try, if you can, to swallow them without any water. Hopefully they will really help you feel better. They really helped me during the years. When they didn't have the capsule form, I took the pill form. You can get them at the pharmacy as well. They are usually for travel sickness, but they work for any kind of nausea really. The ginger has always been my lifesaver. I always take it with me. Even now, I will take it with me whenever I go out. And if I'm feeling a bit uncomfortable or I feel the start of nausea coming on, I will always take one. It doesn't hurt you unless you take 100 pills at the same time. But you know, you should be able to take at least 3 or 4 without any problem. You will sometimes immediately feel a warm sensation in your stomach, and that's a good thing. That usually makes me feel better. So hopefully ginger will help you. I really hope something will help you, because I don't want anyone else to go through that kind of nausea. It is just so difficult to even think or do anything through that. And another thing that helped me is if I have a very bad panic attack coming, my hands would be shaking and I would just be completely paralyzed with all sorts of horrible feelings like fear and racing heart and feeling like I'm gonna die. And this is what helps me. I get a cup of really cold ice water and I splash it on my face. Sometime it may not work, sometime it might. You could give it a try next time. And one of the things that I find also that has gotten rid of my nausea is really letting it get to the stage where you are dry heaving. I know that is a really bad and traumatic experience, believe me. Every time that happens to me, I am so traumatized. But the nausea usually will go away after you do that, except it might come back again. So you can just do anything you can to try to relax and try to breathe, like breathe into and then hold your breath for a few seconds and then breathe out again, and hope that helps. I know that has always been something that doesn't really help me that much, like breathing, because I find that my heart will still be racing fast and I will still be feeling nauseous. Another thing you can also try is the anti-nausea acupoint, and let me show you where it is. So what you do is you put your finger here and you count 3 fingers. So it's around here, and you want to press as hard as you possibly can. So you want to press down on both hands. There are also bands, like wristbands that you can buy that can help as well, but I find it better if you use your knuckle and just press down as hard as you possibly can, and do that with both hands. You might feel a bit of relief, and do that in addition to ginger. It'll probably help even faster. Another thing you can do is take magnesium. I know that's something that has helped me in some point in the past, although it's not very apparent, like you won't be able to see immediate differences, but it can help with the level of anxiety you feel. So take magnesium if you can. Finally, this is something that I will share with you, and I hope that it will inspire you to get help if you can. For a long time, I have suffered through anxiety, and I never ever thought of taking any medicine for it because my family tells me that it's gonna kill me. They said that it's gonna give me a heart attack and it's gonna kill me. So because of that, I just stayed away from them for many, many years. I never even thought of taking antidepressants or anything like that. Just to keep others happy, I would just say, okay, fine, I won't take anything. And I silently suffered this anxiety for years and years until one day I was in such a bad, anxious state that I was not able to sleep. I have my son who is around 1.5 at that time. He is a bowl of sunshine. He is everything to me, and I was unable to look after him very well because I was so stressed I couldn't sleep at all. And I thought that was it. You know, I need to get help. I couldn't just let this anxiety rule my life and potentially harm my son because he is so important to me. I wanted him to have a mum that could function rather than someone who is always panicked and not able to do anything. So I went to the doctor and I set up a psychiatrist appointment and I told them my story, and they suggested that I take antidepressant, and I agreed. I just thought, you know, I couldn't let it rule me anymore. I took 50 ml at first per day, and I gradually increased it to 100 ml. That's actually how much I take now still. I take it every day, and that, you know, one of the most important thing I have learned from taking the medicine is that sometimes the way you think, the stressed out mind that you have, it is not something you can really control. You can try to do everything you can to not let this anxiety rule you, but in reality, your mind is struggling because it needs help, just like every other part of our body. You know, it can have moments where it doesn't work properly and we need help. We can't just expect it to get better on its own, and you know, if we have medicine to help with other things, we should be able to take medicine for this without feeling like something is terribly wrong. So when I took the antidepressant, I found that slowly I started to think more positively, as in, instead of freaking out that I'm not getting to sleep right away, I'm thinking that, oh, it's okay, you know, it's not gonna kill me. I could always sleep during the day a bit if I can. Tomorrow's always a better day. And you know, without the medicine, I would never been able to think that. And that's when I realized that sometimes your mind thinks a certain way, and to change it, you don't just change your thinking. It doesn't work that way. You have to get help if you really need it. I just want you to listen to yourself and ask yourself what you need. Don't listen to other people. Don't let other people tell you what to do because they don't understand. You need to listen to your own heart. You need help. It is not right that you have to suffer this silently. So please get help. Please, please, please don't be afraid of trying out a medicine. There's so many misconceptions about antidepressant. Like sometimes even shows will make it seem like it's a bad thing, like it's addictive or it's going to give you a heart attack. And you're going to really think that if you're not taking it, you're constantly panicked. That can't be good for your heart too, right? And it is not, at least in my opinion, the antidepressant is not addictive. I remember another reason why I never took them was because I read that one of the symptoms I could get is nausea, right? And what I find is that with the antidepressant, if I take it, Ironically, it's the opposite of the ginger. If I take it without too much water and it doesn't go too far down, I will get the worst stomach ache for like hours. But if I drink a lot of water and have it completely go down and have some food beforehand, I don't get any symptoms at all. So try doing that, or you can also take a ginger beforehand. Another thing that really helps me is knowing that there are anti-nausea medicines out there that can get rid of your nausea. I don't personally need to take them. I just have them. I get a prescription for them and I have them in my bag. It helps to have them because then you think, okay, I have methods to help me. It's kind of just like a psychological thing that could help ease your mind a little. Just know that at one stage I thought, what is the meaning of even being alive if all I felt was nauseousness? And now I am pretty much able to go anywhere. Sometimes I don't even need ginger. I don't feel nervous. And you know, there are certain times I'll eat something and I will still get nauseous. And it doesn't last nearly as long. It will just go away on its own after a while. For example, there was a week where I was taking spirulina, and that is a really amazing thing, except I think my body just didn't really like it. It triggered some kind of uncomfortableness with my stomach, and my anxiousness took it a step further. So before I knew it, I was getting severe nauseousness from it. And I remember just not feeling nearly as scared because of the medicine that I'm on. So it has helped tremendously. That doesn't mean it's a miracle cure. There is no miracle cures, unfortunately, right now that exist that can just take everything away. I truly wish that there was a way just to take it all away, but unfortunately right now, just do everything you can step by step and just have faith that it will get better. And I do understand what it feels like to have physical symptoms that rule your life, that just makes you unable to function. One of the memories that I have when I had bad anxiety nausea was I had a friend over who was watching shows with me. We were having a good time, but anxiety nausea will attack when it wants to, and it comes right when I was watching, and I just felt so sick. I rushed into the bathroom, I locked the door, and I just sat on the ground and just hoped that the feeling would pass. And eventually it did, but it just felt so horrible. These memories are still very traumatizing to even remember them. So anxiety nausea has ruled my life for so many years that I want to help you to overcome it so that it doesn't rule your life for such a long time, because you deserve to feel safe and happy, and you should be able to go out and do what you love without feeling so nauseous or anxious. So another thing that's really important is to tell some people about it. Don't tell someone who might overreact, that might make the situation worse. Please tell someone who you trust, who always listens to you. I really, really hope that there is one person, at least one person in your life that you can trust and talk to. Tell them about what you're going through, ask them for advice. I'm sure that they will really do their best to help you. And if they don't understand, just describe to them how you feel. Don't leave any details out. Make sure they know just how much it's hurting your life. And I really hope you can find people out there who will do everything they can to help you. Sometimes it helps just to talk about it. Talking about it could just take away some of the burden and some of the fear and built up tensions. So yeah, I really hope that things get better for you. Please let me know how you are. I'd love to talk. If you ever want to, you can talk to me. I'm happy to chat to you and offer some advice, but I really just hope that this video can help you. Please share it to anyone that you think might need to watch it, and take care of yourself and give yourself lots and lots of love, and please take it easy and take care. Bye.